Hi Abby! I made a video last Tuesday. So since then, haven't done much. I watched a bit of Firefly, but only a bit because somebody has been limiting the amount of Firefly I can watch. Yes, thank you, Abby. So I sit around all day waiting for you to come home so I can watch Firefly, and I am only slightly joking about that, which is really embarrassing. Okay, Firefly has got me thinking about TV show endings. It's when you read a book or you watch a movie, the end is really important. But in TV shows, I don't know, I kind of feel like the end isn't really that important in a TV show. It's about the journey you take throughout the show and the changes that take place and how it goes from the beginning to the end and how the characters grow and how all these things happen and the story that it tells along the way. And, you know, though the ending is important, it's really not. Also, spoilers, I'm talking about the ends of shows, so if you haven't finished watching any of the shows that I'm talking about, you're screwed, because I'm going to tell you what happens. Okay, so Buffy. I think that the ending was good. I think that Buffy is a great show. You're going to yell at me because I didn't say it's my very favorite show. But The Office is my favorite, so I'm sorry. But Buffy, The Office, and Gilmore Girls are my top 3. Okay, anyways, the Buffy ending was really good, I think. Buffy had some awesome episodes in season 6, but it kind of, like, in the middle there, I couldn't watch it. It was just depressing, and no, that's not what Buffy's like. But it picked up again at the end, and season 7 was pretty good. But anyways, the deal with, like, all potential Slayers becoming Slayers, I think, you know, good ending. You can't just end it with Buffy by herself just continuing to be the Slayer, because it's just the same and it's disappointing. And I think that the ending to Buffy was satisfying, and it tied up a lot of loose ends, and it made it possible so that, I don't know, it didn't end with you thinking, oh, but what happens next? Oh my god. It was just like, okay, this is time to end, and this is a good ending. So, the Gilmore Girls finale sucks. It's horrible. I hate it. It's probably the worst, most unsatisfying ending ever, and it's just when they fade out, you're like, what the hell? That's it. It's done. I spent 7 years watching the show, and this is how it ends. And it's very, very disappointing. Also, I remember watching an interview, like, forever ago on one of our DVDs, and the creator, Amy Sherman-Palladino, was talking about how she knew what her last lines for Gilmore Girls would be. And then in season 6, when it switched from whatever to whatever, when they switched over, Amy Sherman-Palladino didn't go with them, and she, like, wasn't even involved in the ending, which means we never got to see her last lines. Season 6 and 7 of Gilmore Girls had good moments, but overall they were crappy compared to the other seasons, and it definitely was time for Gilmore Girls to end. It just did not end in a good way. And The Office, it's still on TV, but I think it should be done. I watched it because it's my favorite show, and it was magical back in the day, and I just keep hoping that it will return to what it once was, and it hasn't. Except for maybe a little bit since Holly came back in this season, but now she's gone again, so I'm just frustrated again. But anyways, I think that Pam and Jim, I don't really like either of them that much anymore. I have the memories of what they used to be, but I don't like who they are now. Also, Dwight's changed a lot. He's kind of just an asshole. Michael's really the only character who stayed the same, which is kind of why I've watched The Office. And I understand that you want people to, like, grow and change and what over the course of time, but I don't know, I'd say that Michael has grown and changed while still saying the same person. You know what I mean? You don't watch The Office anymore, so you don't. But anyways, I think that The Office should be done. I love The Office, and I don't know what I'll do without it, but now that Michael's gone, these last few episodes without him have sucked. I think there's only been one, actually, without him. But Will Ferrell is not funny. I just sit there and I'm like, are you kidding me? This is what it's come to. So, if they don't get someone better by the end of this season, I think The Office and I might have to break up. Anyways, let's go back to endings. Very important in a book or a movie. I think usually they make it or break it, but I would have to say in a TV show they don't. Because I guess, you know, each episode has its own little ending, and it's how the story goes over the years that makes it good. So that's something nice about TV shows, that a bad ending doesn't necessarily ruin the show. And I will see you on Thursday.